Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis, and I'm coming to you tonight to talk about the recent earthquake in Chile. Um, we are receiving reports, which I'm sure you've already seen, that some of the effects of this earthquake include a change in the Earth's figure axis of 3 inches, and that it's also shortened the Earth's day by 1.26 microseconds and speeded up the Earth's rotation. Similar effects are described from the Indonesian earthquake of a few years ago. Some of the things I'd like to say about this first uh, is that it does very much correspond to prophecies about earth changes that have been around for many years and that many of us are quite familiar with. Um, in the wider culture, they talk a lot about 2012, which is part of the larger body of these prophecies. But they also include prophecies from people such as Edgar Cayce and other persons to the effect that the Earth is going through a series of changes. When I was growing up in the 70s, these prophecies were very much discussed by people that I knew and worked with, such as Lady Crystal, as being things that we should expect to see in coming years, and I have to say that even so, I'm a little surprised to be seeing them. But they are following right along. Changes in the seasons, changes in the climate, changes in the axis of the Earth. Things which back at that time, we would have said, I think most people would have said they would not really expect to see. But here we are seeing them. This also ties into the historical curve on which the Correllian calendar is based. If you're not familiar with the Correllian calendar, you can find information about it at Correllian.com in the literature section. But it deals with the idea of a historical curve that can be charted along historical ages, which are laid out in an astrological fashion. And one of the things that we see at the close of the last age, or actually I should say at the opening of the last age, the Piscean age, which opened in 400 AD, is that there was a great deal of this kind of seismic activity, earthquakes and volcanic activity throughout the Mediterranean in particular, which seemed to coincide with changes in the culture there. Certainly I think that one would have to agree that the period of 100 years, period of 200 years, totally changed the nature of the culture of the Mediterranean and of Europe in general, and that you see similar things around the world. Therefore, as I look at these things, I see them as part of the overall change in the age, which we've been working on for many years. In the Correllian calendar, we're currently in the 10th year of the age of Aquarius. But those changes are still ongoing. They overlap both the end of the Piscean age and the start of the Aquarian age. In dealing with the effects of this earthquake and the change in the figure axis, I would like to call upon the people who are involved with the crystal web, particularly the Order of Web Weavers, but also everyone who has a crystal access point. And I would like to ask you to join me for a ritual of attunement this coming weekend, March 6th, when we will attempt to attune ourselves more closely to these energies so that we make the changes as non-disruptive as possible, as positive as possible. And by attuning ourselves to them, we can move with them rather than attempting to resist them or moving against them. Because when the Earth wants to change, she's going to change. I would ask those of you who have Crystal Web access points to spend some time this week working with your crystal and see what you can feel from it in terms of what the Earth is experiencing and whether or not the crystals have an input to make. We are very open to suggestions as we put together this ritual, which will be, again, for attunement with the ongoing changes in the Earth. Certainly we must expect to see more of this, and for better or worse, I suspect that we will see more of these earthquakes in the not terribly distant future. What can one say? We cannot stop them, we can only attempt to attune to the changing energies, and also try to guide those energies into the most positive, the least disruptive patterns possible. So I hope that you will join me on March 6th. We will certainly be putting out more information before the ritual begins, and it will again be a global ritual that will move in a wave around the planet. So stay tuned to this channel for more information. Thank you and blessed be.